So I just finished with a podcast and we talked about multiple different things, but one of the most powerful portions of it, I think, for myself was when we were communicating with regards to the quantum world and quantum medicine and what we have available to us just by simply being human. And I gave an example of a real life experiment that I did on myself through just life that was so simple, but it had such a profound impact on just the simplicity of how to explain some of these principles. And so what I had done was I went to a movie with somebody, and I hadn't gone to the movies in a long time. I don't really like TV or movies, but I wanted to go and do this, and I was enjoying the company. But the movie was not one that felt good. It was not positive. It wasn't a comedy. It didn't feel good. And so in this, I decided that I was going to do a little experiment on myself to change my state in the face of a movie that wasn't how I wanted to feel. And so I closed my eyes and tried to use all of the practices that we have access to change our physiological state and therefore how we feel. And I closed my eyes and did all of these things and could not make myself feel good. And it was just so eye-opening, even somebody who has done so much work and is so aware and so used to being able to access these things and change my mind and change how I feel and then therefore change my experience, how hard it was when I was sitting in a movie theater with something playing in the background, even if it didn't have my vision. Just the sounds and the feeling of everybody else in the room was impacting my physiology to such a degree that I was sweating, I was nervous, and I did not feel good. And this is all induced by a movie, which is technically make-believe. Nothing was really happening. So in that scenario, we don't look at the body and say, the body is having an improper response. No, we go because we want that response. We want a environment to create a physiological response in us so that we get a feeling. That's why so many people like television, like movies, because often they're not feeling enough in life, and so they go get a synthetic version that's a souped up version of feeling something. And this is such a powerful example because with regards to what's going on in the world right now, this is going against so many of us. And what I mean by that is so many of us are letting ourselves be funneled into a movie theater showing a horror film. And we're all sitting in there having a proper response to the environment, demanding that our bodies feel good, demanding that we feel peaceful and joy and all of these good neurotransmitters and good hormones and all of this good feeling. But we're sitting in a movie theater watching a horror film, demanding that our bodies feel like they would feel in a romantic comedy. And so this is the pathology of society right now. This is the pathology of medicine right now. Medicine would therefore go in there and say, let's go and give this body a medication to stop the anxiety, to stop the sweat, to stop the heart rate, to stop everything that's being induced by the environment. It's a proper response to the environment, to the inputs that are coming in, even if it's imaginary. And same thing with the natural side of the world. They would go bring herbs to treat the anxiety, to calm down the sweating, to da-da-da-da-da. And the truth of the truth of the truth is we've got to get up and walk out of the movie theater. If you do not want to feel what you are watching, if you do not want to feel what you are experiencing, don't medicate yourself and stay there. You've got to change to change. So you've got to decide, like, this doesn't feel good. Watching the news, scrolling through these accounts, all of these things are making me physiologically feel bad. Is it your body that's broken? Is it your body that's messed up? Or is it having a proper response to the environment that you're choosing to put it in? And then can you change it? Absolutely. You get up and walk out of that movie theater showing a horror film and you go plop yourself down in one showing a romantic comedy. Will your physiology change? Will your markers of health change? Will your pulse and your blood pressure change? Yes. And so we've got to think on how simple this is. And we've got to take our health into our own hands, and we've got to understand that this world exists regardless of if we give it credit or not. And so if you are sitting in a horror film, choosing to sit in a horror film, knowing that you're in a horror film, feeling bad, negative emotions, which should be your indicator to get up and move, and instead you're sitting there and trying to medicate yourself into feeling more comfortable about staying, we've got a problem. Get up, get uncomfortable, disrupt the people around you, accidentally walk in front of them, maybe make your date a little uncomfortable because you need to change your state. But everyone's trying to be so kosher and not disrupt anything, so we're all just going to keep doing the same thing. Let society push us into the theater that we don't want to experience the feeling of, but we're going to keep watching the movie. And some of us are just going to close our eyes, and some of us are going to plug our ears, and then some of us are just going to take in so many supplements and tinctures and potions and pills to try to act like we're not feeling what we're feeling. We've got to stop. This is the perfect example of society and medicine and what so many of us are blindly signing up for. So if you feel like this is partially true for your experience, if you do not feel good, if your body is not feeling better every single day, you have to change. It is not a problem with your body. Your body is always right. It is always giving you the effect of the cause. It is always showing you the output of the input, even if you can't see those things. And so if you are sitting in a horror film and you don't like how it feels, get up and leave. And go find the movie that you actually want to sit in. It requires a little bit of effort, a little bit of grit, a little bit of, I'm sorry if it makes all of you uncomfortable, but I'm no longer available for this level of input, even if I paid for the ticket. But my feeling is what's important. And go and choose. You have the freedom to choose, but you're letting yourself be pulled in by just what's available. And then you're consuming it, and you're facilitating more of everything you say you're going against. Move, get up, choose, and if you have to, tie yourself down in the movie theater. That makes you feel good, because the body will respond without fail. So think on this, think of the simplicity of this, think of the perfection of this, and give yourself the freedom to change and choose, because you are choosing how you are feeling, whether you want to admit it or not. You have everything to do with how your body is feeling. And then you have everything to do with how you can change that. You can change your state, you can change your biochemistry, and you can change your physiology, and you can do it as quickly as you want. But sometimes you have to make big, big, big changes to have a big, 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 big change in how you feel. Think on it, pause, play with it, experiment with it. Change what you're watching, change what you're feeling, change what you're hearing, and then see how your body changes. You're perfect. There's nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing that needs to be put in your body to make you work better. But you can't expect something from your body when it is reacting perfectly to its environment. Change the environment. You have to change to change.